you said you loved me, I should have picked up and ran. Grabbed my unicycle and rode to Japan. Hang out with some geisha girls, sing karaoke and get a tattoo. Do everyone and everything to forget about you. Yeah. Every time I see you walking out my door, I wanna grab a frying pan and lay you out on the floor. That filth you talk, that stench just flies out of you. I should have listened, yeah, I should have. Said you loved me, I should have picked up and ran. Grabbed my unicycle and rode to Japan. Hang out with some geisha girls, sing karaoke and get a tattoo. Do everyone and everything to forget about you. Every time I see you walking out my door, I wanna grab a frying pan and lay you out on the floor. That filth you talk, that stench just flies out of you. I should have listened, yeah, I should have. said you loved me, I should have picked up and ran.
Hey, and welcome back to the political commentary page, PCP, political commentary page. You know, I had no idea that that would make any sense, but apparently it turned out okay. PCP, political commentary page. So, how's your day been? My day, I'm not sure if you could really tell, but I turned into laborer today and was working in the house, and what started out as a nice day ended up being nothing but rain and more rain and more rain. But that's good because we needed it. So the fields are pretty much bare, and so yeah, things are doing okay now. So anyway, I was here earlier this morning. And PCP sounds like a fun time, especially if it's illegal. Usually things that are fun are probably illegal. So then they need to be. We've seen that with the legalization in America. Your product is better. You have more variety. And everybody's just happy. Well, not everybody. There are some people that will never be happy no matter what you do. But that's what happens when you deem things illegal. And speaking of illegal, I had no idea. I just saw this today. Is there something going on in the UK that they are banning menthol cigarettes? I mean, I saw a post here, and basically there is on May 20th, 2020, countdown to prohibition, menthol cigarettes. I went ahead and clicked on something about a survey designed to gather information from smokers on the forthcoming ban of menthol-flavored cigarettes. Why? Why are they banning menthol cigarettes? I know that where I live here, when people go on vacation, a lot of them go to Turkey. And then when they come back, they bring these really cool cigarettes that have this, I don't know, in the filter, you squeeze it and you hear this little pop. And it releases this liquid. And the cigarette has these different tastes. And this was before vaping was really a big thing. And but those, of course, are illegal here in Germany. Wouldn't you know it? Of course they are. But menthol cigarettes, why are they banning menthol cigarettes? I don't quite understand that. Is there something, has there been studies on them or something? So I figured, let's take a survey and find out. What is your age? Type your answer here. I think I'm this old. I'm not exactly positive, but I think I'm that old. What is your gender? Oh, wow. Look at that. They have male and female. They don't have male, female, sometimes female. Not sure. Don't want to say. Wow. This is old-fashioned. What is your nationality? What difference does that make? Okay. I'm just going to put in human. Okay. What is your country of residence? Okay. Not where you were born, but your residence. What is your occupation? Oh, God. Now that's a question, isn't it? Dude. I'm a dude. Which of the following are you? Social smoker, light smoker, average smoker. Really? An average smoker is up to 20 cigarettes a day? Wow. I mean, back when when I was in high school, that would be considered a heavy smoker, because at that time, a pack of cigarettes had 20 cigarettes in the pack. Here, you can buy them with 30 or 40 in a pack. But 20 was a heavy smoker, and now I guess it's an average. So, okay, I'll go average. Why do you smoke? Habit, addiction, pleasure, habit and pleasure, addiction and pleasure, other. Is it an addiction to me? I don't, probably. Could I break my addiction? Sure, I probably could. I just don't want to. To be honest with you, I don't want to. I mean, whenever I'm playing music, not on the radio, but when I'm, playing music, I smoke quite heavily. When I'm creating something in a creative frame of mind, so I'll just put addiction and pleasure. Are you smoking more or less as a result of COVID-19 or the same as before? What? I smoke the same as before. I really don't give a fuck. If you're smoking more or less as a result, explain why. I'm not smoking more or less. If you are smoking the same as before or do not wish to answer, press the return key. Okay, I'll press the return key. From May 20th, menthol-flavored cigarettes will be banned for sale in the UK and throughout the European Union. Wow. The ban also applies to capsules, click-on, that's what I'm talking about, click and roll, crush ball, and dual menthol cigarettes. Were you previously aware or unaware of the ban? I was unaware. I had no idea. If you were aware of the ban, what is your principal source of information? Well, I wasn't aware of the ban, so I guess I just press enter. Overall, do you think the ban of menthol-flavored cigarettes will reduce smoking rates? No. It will make no difference, you idiots. Do you think the ban on the sale of menthol-flavored cigarettes will increase or reduce illicit trade? Well, it will increase it, you fools. Anytime you put a ban on something, you're going to increase the illicit trade on it. Who makes up these fucking questions anyway? Are these guys idiots? It will increase, you fools. Do you consider the menthol cigarette ban to be reasonable or unreasonable? Any ban is unreasonable. Period. It's an unreasonable. Do you consider the menthol cigarette ban to be a reasonable or unreasonable restriction on an adult's freedom of choice? I gotta think about that. Of course it's an unreasonable restriction. Cigarettes will all be, yes. Yes, I can envision a time where cigarettes will all be made legal. Illegal, yes. Do you smoke flavored cigarettes or hand-rolled? No, I do not. But that makes no difference. I don't care if I don't smoke them or not. I mean, whether I smoke them or not is not the point. They shouldn't be made illegal. Same thing with the drug laws, yeah? Just because I do not partake in certain drugs, nor would I ever partake in certain drugs, I still would not support a ban on them. I would still not restrict another person's freedom from indulging in these things. It's their body. It's their choice. Plain and simple. Governments, stay out of people's personal lives. Submit. Okay, thank you for taking part. You're welcome. So, okay, I guess we have a menthol ban in the European Union. Are menthol cigarettes banned in the U.S.? I don't really know. They never used to be, but again, it's been over 20 years since I set foot on American soil. And if I were to set foot on American soil again, I'm sure it would be a very uncomfortable situation because it's very, very different from when I left. Hello there, icy grills. Icy grills. Icy grills. Icy grills. Is that like I see grills or icy grills? It's kind of a play on words there. But whichever one it is, you know. Just to let everybody know, this is an open line program. You can call out gold teeth. Yeah. You could call in about anything you want to talk about, really. I have no limitations. I have no restrictions. We have a Skype call-in line or a Discord call-in line. Now, just to let you know, the Discord call-in line has been used before successfully, which I'm very happy about. We have not tried the Skype call-in line, so I'm not exactly how positive I am that everything will be working smooth or not. But, we could always give it a try. So with that being said, that this is an open phone line and you can call in and talk about whatever you want. I just need to let you know that the people who, a few of them who frequent this channel, do so because they are interested in out-of-the-box thinking, yeah? And they're not interested in hearing somebody rattle off a 3-minute episode of just bullshit words, yeah? So if that's the case, I'm probably going to dump you. But if you've got something to say, man, I don't care what it is or what it's about. I don't care about your stand on something. This is another issue that that my channel has is I am not right wing. I am not left wing. I'm right down the goddamn middle. Yeah, I do not belong to a team. I hate the concept of team mentality. This is the biggest killer of unification that there ever is. Yeah. My team, your team. We're all in the same team. We're all humans, period. I took a look around the news today, and what is this? Icy Grills. What do you think of the entire Russian hoax being exposed? What do you mean by the Russian hoax? Are you talking about team mentality is fine as long as it's organic and not backed by government? Well, that's true. I mean, I think, for me, I kind of got out of the team mentality thinking when I moved out of the U.S. And at that time, I was, and I still am, a big NFL fan. Yeah, I love watching football. I'm sorry, I just do. And at that time, of course, I am from Seattle. So my team was the Seattle Seahawks. And so every Sunday, every freaking Sunday during football season, I would watch my team, the Seattle Seahawks. And at that time, boy, did they suck. But then I moved out of the U.S. into Europe, and they didn't have the NFL here. And I was really bummed out, man. I was bummed. I didn't know what to do. And then after like 2 or 3 years, a pay-per-view channel came up, and they were offering NFL football. And I was the very fucking first one to sign up. Sign me up, man. I don't give a shit how much it costs. Sure, I'll sign up for 4 years. I don't care. So I signed up. Sunday comes. I run out. And man, I got my nachos. I got my Coke. I'm pumped. And then it hit me. Not before, but at that moment I realized, oh, wait a minute. Why do I think they're going to be playing the Seattle Seahawks? I don't live in Seattle anymore. There are other teams out there. I'm just going to have to watch whatever they put on. Yeah, whoever they put on, I'm going to have to watch it. And so that's how I ended up watching football for the next, 10 years. Maybe I was lucky to see the Seahawks play once a year. But that helped me. And that made me grow and appreciate the sport more. And I got to notice the individual efforts which take place on that field. And I got to learn more about different teams, more about different players. I mean, I saw teams that I hadn't seen before. Of course, I've heard of them, but unless they played the Seahawks, then I would never be interested in watching them. And so my love for the sport grew. My understanding of the different style of playing from different teams grew. And today I would say, yeah, of course, I still like the Seahawks, like you said. It's an organic. Is it really organic? No, it's not organic because I grew up in Seattle. And everybody in Seattle roots for the Seattle Seahawks, just like wherever you live. If you live in a city that has an NFL team, then you kind of root for that team because your parents root for that team, and so forth and so forth. But you understand where I'm getting at, yeah? Kind of grew to a much more appreciation of the sport. And that's the same thing with politics. Right side, left side, the only two sides. And until you break free of that paradigm and realize that both of these parties, no matter what they say, basically are the same, then you're not growing anywhere. Yeah, you're not growing. You're stuck in a rut. But what do I think about the entire Russian hoax thing? I'm not exactly sure. You have to be a little bit more clear. There's been a lot of Russian hoaxes out there. So, another thing that I came across is on Facebook. In the UK, they are considering banning anti-vaccine posts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, there is a big call, anti-vaxxers out there. And I mean, I'm going to be the very first person to stand up and say, no fucking way am I going to get a vaccine for this coronavirus. No way. I don't trust it. But what I'm trying to get at here is if Facebook bans this information, along with Instagram and along with Twitter, then so be it. And people shouldn't be upset about it. They have no right to be upset that Facebook is removing posts or that YouTube removes posts or that Instagram is removing posts. They don't have any right to be upset about it. They're not paying for anything. This is a free service. You accept these rules when you sign on. So, quit your crying. Quit your whining. Yeah? I mean, that's just how it is. If it's a free service, then you don't expect a lot of it or from it. So if Facebook starts banning these posts, along with Instagram and Twitter starts banning these posts, then the anti-vaxxers will have to come up with a different solution in order to reach people. So, I mean, free speech, of course, but you can't expect to have free speech on somebody else's platform that you're not paying for. Yeah, they're the ones who make the rules up. And these companies were operating in a free market. Yeah, of course they're not operating in a free market. There is no such thing as a free market. I mean, a lot of people, especially people here in Europe, they kind of look at America and they, especially the anti-American people, they say, yeah, you can tell how capitalism fails. And I said, well, America doesn't have capitalism, you idiots. America doesn't have a free market. If you have to pay for the privilege to open up a business, that's not a free market. That's fairly clear. What do you mean? Well, obviously, if you want to have a Jesus Christ, if you just want to fucking open up a hairdresser, a beauty salon, you have to fucking get a license for it. You're asked, you have to get permission. You have to get approval before you can even open up your own business. And if you have to do that, then it's not a free market. So, but sometimes people, hear that argument and they say, "Oh, okay, I can see your point. I can see your point." No, there is no free market. Only individual companies trying to operate as free market actors. Sure, that's great. That's clear. And this is something that I think is really cool about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is one way that we could have a totally free market. Yeah. I mean, I remember first hearing about Bitcoin 10, 12 years ago. And my first thought was, awesome, great. Yeah, get the middleman out of it. And with the Bitcoin halving going on right now, who knows where it's going to lead. And with the government starting to push out, different packages for money for individuals who have been damaged, some of them, it's going to take years to recover. Then the value of the dollar, the euro, and whatever currency you want to use, we all know it's basic economics 101, it's going to devalue. I mean, this is quite clear. So, free market is a great thing. The closest thing we have to a free market is garage sales. But even then, even some garage sales in some states, you're expected to, declare if you made any money there or not. Because we all know the government wants their share. Even though it doesn't belong to them, they still want their share. So. And a lot of companies don't want to operate in a free market. Of course not. They want the government in their back pocket, or vice versa. Yeah. A free market means competition. Free market means we have to do everything that we can to attract and to retain our customers, which is some hard work. But if we have the government backing us, and if we have, a major majority of the market share, and then we can chat with some government officials and get them to pass some new regulations, which makes it much more expensive, much harder for new players to enter into the market, then a lot of companies do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some places you need a permit. You need a permit to sell your toaster. Think about that. You need a permit to sell a toaster or a microwave or an old guitar or your freaking dog. That's crazy. Now, there's something else that I came across. And this was kind of shocking. I mean, I've talked about this recently, and I have said that these demonstrations against the lockdown measures. Now, whether you agree with them or not, I don't care. If you have an opinion on it, there's the call-in lines right there. Boom, boom, boom. One and one. Looking at things backwards. 1 and 2. Give me a call and let everybody know what you think. But more and more is going on. I think there was 100,000 people out in Germany, which is a shock because, like I said, Germans follow rules. No matter what the rules are, they follow rules. And but in the UK, things are ramping up with this. And I came across this video that was in Australia, I believe, showing a mother and a child, I believe, being separated. So I'm not exactly sure of the backstory. Maybe if someone else has heard about this, they could chat in or chime in or call in or whatever and educate the rest of us. But I've got the video here that I'm going to show you, and we'll see exactly what's going on. I mean, these violent arrests have been increasing. Social distancing patrols I mean, we are talking stormtrooper style here. That's scary. Okay, let's take a look at this and see what happens.
Look at this. Look at this. Με παιδί. Παίρνει το παιδί.
Anybody know what language that is? I'm not sure, but let's continue.
Fuck off!
So it looks like this is the mother right here, this woman here, and it looks like the baby's in the carriage right there. And it looks like they're in the process of keeping the mother back from the baby. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Look at these kids. Oh, look at these kids.
And they want to keep it safe, so they're trying to keep them
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's
Okay, I don't really know what the backstory is here. I don't. But we do have a mother being separated from her child. Who knows? Maybe she's a dangerous convicted killer, as far as we know. And as Tactical Cadaver wrote, I don't know what people are mad about. Cops are just doing their jobs. Yeah. I think he's throwing in some irony there. I think he's being a little bit controversial here. Because, yeah, the cops are just doing their jobs. They're just following orders like the Nazis. Hey, who was that? Who just walked off with the baby? Was that the mother? Did they give her the baby back? I gotta rewind this a little bit. I was looking at Cadaver's response here. Yeah, it was a smart ass comment. Yeah, I figured as much, but just wanted to make sure. Okay, did the mother come back? Okay, is that the mother? Or no, I think that woman came up and started talking to the police. I don't know, but it looks like somebody came up and, oh no, that's the mother. Yeah, she's running away. Get out of here. Go. But they got someone on the ground back there, it looks like. Look at this. Yeah, she's pointing. Take it easy. We're just doing our job. It's all right. He's going to be going to a re-education camp. When he comes out, he will be no worse for the wear. So, yeah, without a backstory, it's kind of hard to make any clear assumptions about what's going on. But like I said, these violent arrests are increasing. And a lot of people out there take the stand that Tactical Cadaver just took a stab at in a satirical way, just a little peppered a little bit with irony there. But they agree with that. The cops are just doing their jobs. Whether they agree with it or not, they're just doing their jobs. Cadaver, plenty of people, especially conservatives here in the U.S., have been trying to defend police by saying they're just doing their job. They say this while also saying they're not also defending cops. Perhaps those people need to be slapped. It's the same argument that you hear when a cop is found clearly using excessive force, and maybe he shoots somebody, maybe something bad happens, slapped with a brick perhaps, and then later, of course, after the internal investigation is done, he is found to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And people say that, well, it's just one bad apple. But we also all know that there is such a thing as a thin blue line. And it's not just one bad apple. It's all of the other apples on the tree which see this going down and not stepping in to stop it, they are also could be considered guilty of this. And we're happy that it didn't. And yet, Mr. Cadaver is correct, or Mrs. Cadaver. Ooh, boy, I better be careful there. I have no idea. That, yeah, a lot of people use this. And especially conservatives, really conservatives here in the U.S. are defending the police. Well, I guess that goes to reason, yeah. Mm-hmm. Conservatives usually do defend the police, no matter what the case is. Another a story that I came across here is, this is rather interesting here. And when you think about it, you know, and I myself have been thinking about this recently. I wonder, will I ever go back to work? Or is this my new life? I wonder if a lot of people are starting to think that way. Will I ever go back to work? Into a physical location? And if I do, will there be new regulations put in place that I have to adhere to? Do I have to wear certain clothing, as in protective clothing, not like a uniform or anything like that, but, you know. How long will we have to wear these masks? Or how long will they force people to try to wear these masks? Will we ever reintroduce the handshake? That's an interesting one. Are we going to reintroduce a handshake? I mean, this is a part of culture that dates back to medieval times. And the reason I'm asking these questions is because I saw this story about top scientists who battled COVID-19 says we will never live normally without a vaccine. We will never live normally without a vaccine. We had lived normally before this, so why can't we live normally after this? Are they going to continue to instill fear? Will it be made a requirement to get a new job? Have you been vaccinated for COVID-19? No? Well, sorry. All of our employees must have this vaccination. Otherwise, it will put other employees at risk. Your child will never be able to go to school unless, well, if they come up with a vaccine, your child, it will be mandatory that they get it if they ever want to set foot in a public school or perhaps in a university or even join the military. You have to have this vaccine. So perhaps these scientists are right. We will never live normally again. And yeah, this is fear must be peddled until after November, and then fear might be peddled depending on the election winner. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a valid argument there. And with the Democrats realizing, frickin' took them long enough, that their chances with Biden to win the presidency is slim to none. Am I the only one who thinks that? Just to let you know, to make myself clear, because I did not make myself clear at the beginning of this. For the new people, I'm not right wing and I'm not left wing. I do not belong to any political affiliation. I do not belong to any political party. For me, all politicians are liars and thieves. This is historically accurate, and I have facts to back me up. Every single one of them lie. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we ever live normally again. I'm really not sure if I want to go into this whole story here. It's quite a big story. But wouldn't want our soldiers to die from a disease before they die from a bullet. I guess that's one way of looking at it, yeah. I guess that's one way of looking at it. But here's something. Ooh, this could be big. The 4 horsemen. Yeah, they are active. Bible scholars claim Book of Revelation seals broken. We are at the end times. And I was thinking about this. Now, again, a little background. I'm not a religious person. I really don't care what religion anybody is. I don't care. You live your life, I live my life, and as long as you don't try to force your way of life on me, then hey, have a good day. Yeah, I'm fine with it. You want to pray to some alligator god from Neptune, then go right ahead, And maybe if you have a get-together and a barbecue, I'll come over and eat some food with you, but just don't think I'm going to join your little club. But I was thinking, I can't remember when it was. It was a long time ago. I think it was like 1983. I, with my cousin, maybe it wasn't with my cousin, I can't remember. I went to this Bible camp one year. It was for like 2 days or something like that. Yeah. And at that time I was in a rock band, and not that has anything to do with it, but I was just there because a girl that I liked was going there. And I thought, maybe this is going to work out for me, And they showed a movie. And I will remember this movie for the rest of my life. I don't know why. It was probably a really bad movie, but I guess I was just at an influential age at that time. And it's basically about, somebody woke up and they found out that, half the people of the earth have disappeared. Because I guess it was the reckoning. And so apparently half the people were taken and the other half have to live here on earth. And later on in the story, it was either you get the mark of the beast, the 666, or they cut your head off. I remember that part. And now I'm kind of thinking, wow, I wonder if there's a connection, really, between an immune. Oh, I think I saw that movie in the mid-'80s as a kid. Yeah, I saw that. I can't believe it. But I wonder if there's a connection here between the immunization for this COVID-19. Is that the mark of the beast? You either get this vaccine, or I'm not saying they're going to kill you, but you're going to become the drudge of society. You will not be allowed into any reindeer games. Yeah. You're going to live your life on the street. You're going to be desolate. You're not going to be able to rent an apartment because that will be a requirement. You're not going to be able to drive a car because to get a license, you need to have this vaccine as a requirement. I wonder if this is going to create another third-rate, fourth-rate society. Yeah? The unclean, perhaps, is what they will be called. And I wonder if this vaccine could be, in some way, the mark of the beast. I don't know. I think it's just because of that goddamn movie that I saw. I mean, if I were to watch it today, I'd probably thought, what the hell is this shit? This is terrible. But at that time, I thought it was just great. It was great. But just to take a quick peek, Bible scholars have sensationally claimed the end of the world could be upon us, as they believe the four horsemen who bring about death, war, famine, and disease before the return of Jesus Christ in the Holy Book have been released. They've been released, buddy. They're out here. They're coming through it. They're coming down. So I think we all know the story about the four horsemen in the apocalypse, yeah, and the book of Revelation. So, but they've said that many times in the past, and the end of the world is coming. The end of the world is near. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. Just something I had at the top of my head. Only certain states will do what? Icy grills. It's unconstitutional. Oh, maybe give the mark of the beast? Do you really think states care if something is unconstitutional? Probably not. I don't think you care. I mean, I think you don't think that they would care. Yeah, I think, 2012 was the last World Scare. You're right, yeah. What was it, the Mayan calendar? Something like that? The Mayan calendar claimed 2012 will be the end of all. I think it was the Mayan calendar based on that. But there's always something out there, yeah? There's always something out there to instill fears to keep control. Yeah, to keep control. Or to take more freedoms from people. But this is something else that, like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do believe he has been given a bad rap. I mean, I think if we are all honest about it, whether you support him or not, whether you think he's an idiot or not, I think we would all agree that we have never seen the mainstream media attack someone who holds that office with the fever that they have done with Donald Trump. It seems like no matter what he does, he is ripped apart. And on one side, he opened the state. I mean, he reacted too late. It killed too many people. And then when he mentions about, well, perhaps we should close down businesses. He's trying to close down businesses. He wants a total, dictatorship here. Okay, maybe we shouldn't close down. No, see, he wants to open up the states and kill even more people. I mean, the guy doesn't get a break. I mean, honestly, if we look at it from that perspective, and if you are someone who hates Donald Trump and you can't see that, then you're not helping yourself. You're not open-minded. You only have one direction to go, and you have an extreme case of what's the word I'm thinking of here? Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. And yeah, my thing about, I knew Donald Trump was going to be president before he became president. And I have the editor of the Deutsche Presse Allgemeine to back me up on that, because I made him a bet for a really good bottle of whiskey, because he thought, no way, Donald Trump is never going to be the president. I said, okay, but I'll bet you a bottle of whiskey. And yeah, I won that deal. And I've always thought the best person to hold that type of office would be a non-politician. You don't want a lifetime politician, someone who has never done anything for society. They've never done anything for the local community. They don't produce anything. They don't build anything. They are leeches. All of them. Their income comes from you. whether you like it or not. You are their lifeblood, and they are sucking you dry. And even at this point, when people have had their livelihoods taken away from them, their ability to make a living, to support themselves, and perhaps a family, even at this time, these politicians continue to suck your lifeblood from you. They have no issues with things such as, what am I going to do? I got $100 left. Now, my rent's going to be late or something else is going to be late. They don't have to think like that. They don't live in the same world as normal people do. Their income is assured. So it doesn't affect them. Closing down these businesses doesn't affect them at all. It might affect the governor of a state who has decided to close down, or a mayor of a city. How will it affect them? Well, they won't be reelected, perhaps, if the majority of people, feel that way. But other than that, these closures, social distancing laws don't affect politicians one bit. They don't give a shit about the normal, everyday man or working woman. Not at all. Unless you're a statist, then you think, oh no, we couldn't live without them. So we talked about the banning of menthol cigarettes, which is just ludicrous. We talked about the 4 horsemen and the sign of the beast. That's just funny. And we also talked about anti-vaccine posts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, which could be banned under the new UK laws. Yeah. So be it. If they're banned, then they're banned. Though Facebook has become one of the major platforms where people get their news. And believe it or not, we live in a world full of idiots that can't see through the crap that gets put out there. So, I can hear and I can see some argument about Facebook because it has such an influence on people. I can see a little bit of an argument about having free speech allowed no matter what it is on Facebook. Although, if you can't have free speech on university campuses anymore, how in the hell could you expect to have it on the internet? If you can't have free speech in an institution of higher learning, then how could you expect to have free speech on a privately owned platform? Don't want to offend anybody. Don't want to offend them. I have the right not to be offended. I also have it's a human right not to be offended. It's a human right to have the internet. I want to take those people out and throw them in a lake. Maybe with cement galoshes or something like that. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. But, they deserve to be slapped around a little bit, I think. Yeah, have some common sense popped into them. So something like declaring Facebook a public utility from a regulatory and constitutional compliance standpoint? No, because the people who are behind making the regulations are politicians, and you can't trust them. They're liars and thieves. So that's where that is. with bricks. Bad situation. Okay, I think I pretty much covered the things that I had here. They are talking about that in the UK, that the British public support tighter lockdown restrictions, if needed, to beat the disease. I've been thinking about this a little bit now. I mean, I've been thinking about it quite often, but I've been thinking about it in a little different light. I am. Is there some audio being played here or something like that? Oh yeah, it is. Mute. The concept of social distancing will have no effect whatsoever on the spread of this disease. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but if I limit my proximity to somebody, well, first of all, let's take a look at the word social distancing. That's an oxymoron, right? I mean, social is to gather together, and distance means to pull apart. Kind of stupid, yeah? Social distancing. But if I practice this social distancing and I limit my proximity to other people whom I don't know, and then I'm forced to, perhaps go to the store and get provisions and whatnot, and I do my best to limit my distance to other people in the supermarket. Yeah? Perhaps I put a barbed wire around me at a 32 inches diameter, and to be sure that I don't brush up against somebody and make sure somebody doesn't get close to me. Yeah, I'm really, really adhering to these social distancing measures, best of my ability. I would also have to be wearing gloves. I have to wear gloves because people touch things in supermarkets. I touch things in supermarkets. If I go to a business or something like that, I would perhaps touch something that other people touch. And I think you would basically have to, wear a hazmat suit in connection with, a giant hamster ball, social distancing, in order for it to be really effective, in order for it to actually slow down the spread of the virus. If that's really even an issue, why do we need to slow down the spread of the virus, for Christ's sake? Why? Why do we need to slow down the spread of the virus? Let it spread. Let it spread. Simple as that. People are going to die. People always die. The numbers that we are getting is just bullshit. Most of the people that are dying from this are old. And that's right. I fucking hate old people. They drive too goddamn slow. They're always. Are you ever behind an old person at a supermarket? God damn it! They got to go through their wallet and okay, they're 21, 22, 20. Oh! I gotta start again here. They're taking all their coins out. Jesus Christ. And they smell. Sometimes. Let this virus spread. Let it spread. And one other thing that I've always thought about is either A, it is more dangerous than what they're telling us. It is a brain-devouring, air-sucking, organ-siphoning disease that leaves an empty zombie shell. But they don't want us to know this. Because if we knew this, boy, we would be freaking out. So it's either that, a real type of apocalyptic, end of the world disease, or it's just a power play. Yeah? It's just another virus. It's another flu that people get all the fucking time, that people die from all the time. Power play. Damn right it's a power play. But, here's the thing. Fear-mongering power play, this is something that people, they feed on this. They love this. The media loves it because they turn it into a fucking Hollywood production. Hollywood production. Live, up-to-date death toll. Death sells. Yeah? And the mainstream media are doing their very best to sell it. We all know the mainstream media is a mere shadow of what it used to be. Journalism is a shadow of what it used to be. Independent journalism, I find, is good. It's fine. But they don't get the coverage. They don't get the exposure that the mainstream media does. Mainstream media is owned. It is owned. You get two views of, you get two different views of the same story. That's it. Right or left. Imagine ranking, what is that? Ranting about Hollywood productions. I mean, for Christ's sake, the mainstream news, primetime news, it is a fucking Hollywood production. You have the outfits. You have these huge fucking monitors with touch display. You can, as we can see here, we zoom in on this area here. I mean, it has become a Hollywood production. And that the one thing that I will say about the German news media, man, it's dry. It is dry. Person comes out, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's it's monotone. Barely any emotions go into reporting the news here in Germany. It is just, this person said this. That's it. This happened here, according to this. That's it. I mean, that's really fucking it. They don't have, these $150,000 backdrops built around them. They don't have all of these, how important it is to be a news anchor. In America, it's a form of an actor. Yeah? The publicity that one gets. It's not like that here. It's just crazy. Since the German news is so credible, are they pro-COVID like you? Pro-COVID. I'm not pro-COVID. What do you mean, like me? Who said I'm pro-COVID? Pro-COVID. What do you mean, man? I don't quite understand. I mean, am I pro-COVID? Like, do I believe that there's a virus? Oh, pro-spreading COVID. Oh, I see. Not so much, no. But as I mentioned earlier in the stream, that shockingly enough, Germans have come out and protested against against the shutdown measures and the social distancing measures and the closing of businesses. German people have come out and stood up against what their states are doing, which is, like I said, kind of rare in Germany because Germans just follow rules. They will, speak to their neighbors about how they dislike it, but forming together and going against it, it's very not common, yeah? Some Germans have protested, not the majority, no. But that number of protesters has been increasing. In every country, that number is increasing. And it is going to spread. The numbers of protesters in numerous countries are going to spread. But in America, God damn it, if you're one of those people, do yourself a favor and do your cause a favor. And don't go to the protest with a fucking AK-47 just because it's your right. You know how the mainstream media is gonna make you look. And you know how it's going to make your cause look. Yeah, that's true. And the local population, the protests that I'm speaking about here, that happened in Stuttgart, Germany, which Stuttgart is located in the state of Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg has always been either the number 1 or number 2 financial powerhouse within Germany. It's always, basically a tennis match between Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg is the birthplace of Bosch, Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and Bavaria is the home of BMW. And when you look at the population of Stuttgart, you're looking at about 1 million people. And 100,000, a little over 100,000 came out to protest. It's not a great number. It's not a big number. But like I said, in Germany, it's a number. And like I said, this number will continue to grow. And am I correct in this statement? I have heard that in America, in some areas, that they've taken away the ability to go fishing in some places because of these social distancing rules, or because it's not a necessity to do it. Is that really true? I mean, if it is, I will be totally, flabbergasted if that's the case. It's fishing, beaches, parks, etc. Fishing.